Reports, episode 5. I thought I'd sneak in here today and give you an episode because I'm going to be at Lund Racing all week. Next week, I'm leaving Wednesday morning, working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'll find out why. Mostly training, catching up on things. Probably try to get a couple of videos up there, meaning the Blue Goose, but I don't think they're going to let me see Blue Goose that much. Gray Goose updates, wiring updates, senior, junior. It's going to be tough because while you're working, you can't just video stuff. You can only video stuff after work, and you only really have about an hour to grab anyone's attention before they all go home. Today, we're going to talk about a subject matter that I think is long overdue on this channel. We talked about a lot of dating stuff on the previous channel, on that dating channel. And, it got to the point where a lot of the stuff was redundant based on dating. But when it comes to voting, position of power, what women vote for, what women feel is important, I think a lot of men need to realize that women generally prioritize things that are to their own and our own collective detriment, whether it be immigrant rights, whether it be transing boys and girls sports, all that stuff. We'll go over a couple of We'll go a couple of other polls, over some polls that show that women in general do a really bad job of voting for something that makes sense, and what they prioritize sometimes clashes with each other. Like, I've seen some polls where women say this is important to me and this is important to me, but they clash. Whereas men, based on just logic, because men are generally logical, they tend to want, very basic things. And when a man votes, okay, guys, put it on the chat real quick. List off what are the most important things that you vote for. Meaning, when you vote for your mayor, you vote for your congressperson, you vote for the president or senator, what is it that you want to hear from that person that makes you go, yes, that's what I want, that's what I'm voting for, you got my vote? Because I don't vote for you automatically because you served. I think sometimes people use that as a crutch. Meanwhile, when they get in there, they do stupid shit. And then there aren't many women on this chat, and I know that, so I'm not really going to ask women to chime in, because if there are women on this chat, they're ghost watching. But generally, this is a man's channel, right? So list on the chat what you prioritize in terms of the vote. Like, the vote is very, very strong. And I think the biggest issue with the United States and the issues that we're having is brought on by the voter. The voter causes these issues. Look at what's happening in New York. Everyone thought that everyone's going to get this socialist, they basically say democratic socialism, Democrat. And I'm like, dude, it's communism. You're just putting a nice spin on it. And now you're seeing this pied-à-terre tax where they doxed 900,000 people and their addresses, saying, hey, you might be subject to these taxes because you don't live in New York full time. Crazy. And some of the Democrats that voted for Mondami were like, I can't believe he did this. I'm sure when someone voted for Stalin, they're like, I liked what he said, but what he did wasn't great. Same thing for Hitler, same thing for Mao, same thing for everything. So I'm kind of blown away at that. And I'm kind of seeing a pattern with women specifically. Their voting patterns don't really make sense. And it seems like they're voting against themselves, against society. And you're like, why are you voting? Like, why are you voting if you're voting for two things that are against each other? So we'll go over some polls. We'll talk about women in position of power. Should they have equal rights when they don't have equal responsibility? I know women are going to get all mad and say, but we birth babies. Okay, cool. Like, I'd love for like when I see a woman cop, I laugh. Now, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, seriously, if I wanted to and I wanted to just crash out and do crazy, no woman cop is ever arresting me, ever. Like, no woman cop is ever arresting me. The only way she would arrest me is if I allowed her to arrest me. You know what I mean? So I kind of find women in position of certain power positions kind of funny. So I think, that's a good subject to talk about because this channel is like that. Paul P, 5A Wad, Hayden Han, The Wolf, Nat Jew, D-Rock Fox, Garrett Staten, Samot Milan, Ray is built 956 Oscar, Ken McAllister, Benjamin Kellner, Mustang Dennis, Jeffrey Catalino, 956 Oscar, Toilet Dumper, Jeffrey again, Ken McAllister again, Cody Lewis, Slick Vic, Garrett, Black, Stranglehold Outdoors. The majority of them never wanted the right to vote. We did it and shot ourselves in the foot. 956 Oscar, Darrell Washington, TTS B Cobra, Toilet Dumper, Yusuf, and The Wolf. So I quickly went on to Grok. We're going to do a quick 1 hour show, 9 to 10, because we keep it nice and quick, because I just decided, spur of the moment, hop on, talk to the people, give you a minority report, and let's just generate some shorts so that I can have it during the week. The channel is earning twice as much as it ever did, ever, with the dating channel. So obviously the vast, the variety of subject matter seems to be more palatable to more people. So let's keep it going. So I quickly went to Grok and I asked Grok very quick, specific questions about percentages. Not anything crazy. Not don't give me graphs. Don't give me the breakdown. Just give me percentages of certain subject matters. And I asked Grok, in terms of percentage, do women vote for abortion more than men do? Yes. Like 64% versus 55% of men, which is weird. Again, in terms of percentages, do women vote for abortion rights more than men do? That is a yes, over 10% more. The war one was not that clear. I said, in terms of percentages, do women vote for war more than men? It says no, but it was like an 8% swing. In terms of percentage, do women vote for more trans rights than men? Yes. In many polls, women show modestly higher support than men for transgender rights protections, though gaps are often small, about 10 points. 10 points is 10%. That's not a small percentage difference. Another question, in terms of percentages, do women vote more for men in women's sports than men do? Yes. In terms of percentages, do women vote for illegal alien rights more than men do? Yes. What percentage of the voting public is made of women? 53% of women versus 47% of men. So you see there's an obvious problem there, right? Like you see there's a very obvious problem. If the vast majority of the, not the vast majority, but the majority of the voting public are women, and they're voting in things that are against everything that I think common sense would tell you. Like, think about it. Young voters are even more crazy. So when you look up the top 3 issues for young male voters, what do you guys think it is? Try to put on the chat if you're a young man, I want to say 18 to 28, okay? What would be the top 3? If you're an 18 to 28-year-old male in the chat, which I'm sure I have a couple, name the top 3 most important subjects in terms of voting that a senator, president, mayor, or governor can be for, that makes you go, yes, you're going to get my vote, because I think that's what I want. Alejandro Flores wants a safe city. So that means high, I want the budgets for police to be high. I want a big police presence to make sure that crime is low. Okay. I want the streets to be clean. I want to live somewhere that looks clean and orderly. Parks are clean. Streets are clean. Generally, you care about how the place looks. I want my taxes to go towards programs that I think are beneficial. So again, crime, cleanliness, and a business-friendly atmosphere. That means you want people to come into your city, town, or state and open up shop. And that means low corporate tax, low business tax, maybe tax breaks, maybe use some of the taxes in the coffers and the money in the coffers to give incentives to businesses to open up. Offer them many things, even if it's money from the state government, city government, or whatever, to attract them here. Whether it's a building, whether it's a loan, whatever. I want business friendly, clean, and safe. Those are my 3 big ones, because I compare a good running city or state like a good running business. Have you guys ever been to a business where you are amazed as to how clean it is when you go inside, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a factory, whether it's an insurance firm, a law firm, you go in and it smells clean. The floors are clean. Everything looks clean. You're kind of amazed as to how clean it looks. And you're like, boy, you guys really give a shit about how clean your business is. I'm impressed by that. It's run very quickly and orderly, very quickly and orderly. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Get it in, get it out, get your bit, whether you're attended to like at a car dealership, whether it's an insurance company, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a restaurant, whatever the case may be, you want to make sure or feel that your money is being spent there, and you'll pay a premium for excellent service. Some of us don't love high-end restaurants, but some of us that do and know that you get exceptional service, you don't mind paying $200, $300, $400 for a meal with your girl with some drinks mixed in, because you're like, this is exceptional. The food is exceptional. The service is exceptional. We're treated like kings and queens. Or whether it's a day spa or anything like that, a massage, get a rub and tug, whatever, you are being treated like a king. So you go, I like this treatment. I'm not tripping on how much I have to pay on that. Same thing goes with me with taxes. I don't mind paying the tax if it's going towards something good. I'll give you an even a smaller example. A property. Property management to me is huge. I don't mind paying a big rent, an HOA, if the place looks fantastic. Like I show it off to people. Right? Oh, what are you paying $3,000 rent for? Dude, look at this place. Look at the security guard. Look at the amenities. Look at the pool. Look at the gym. Look at the... They actually screen the people that come inside. Make sure you don't have any ne'er-do-wells coming in and like drug dealers and people that don't qualify, people that can barely pay the rent. They don't allow that to come in here. It's kind of exclusive, so they don't want, certain type of people in the property. So we'll read your comments on that. So that's what I want. I want safety, business friendly, and clean. I'm not that hard to please. I have female relatives who literally admit they get confused at the ballot box. Well, then you shouldn't be there in the first place. I'm going to tell you an example of something that a female did today that you guys are going to go, what the fuck were you thinking? YouTube Corrupt, what's up, buddy? Young Soldier says, what's up, fam? Killshot Racing, what's up, Killshot? Just stop by, drop a like, keep up the good work on this channel. Channel's great, thank you so much, appreciate that. Damn, I'm old. Happy the channel's doing good. Keep on going. Less taxes, stricter on crime, improvements to the city. Exactly me. Well, the taxes I don't mind paying, but stricter on crime, improvements to the city. Crime, diesel emissions, and legal weed, maybe. That's crazy. I love ya. This legal weed shit, get that shit out of your head. That is the gayest shit. That's the dumbest shit. Weed is the path to non-productivity and being broke and having a shitty mindset. Weed is not a non-starter for this channel. That is so retarded. Love ya. That is fucking retarded. Free stuff, good internet, and no police. Yeah, that's crazy. Pride and ownership goes a long way. Low good use of tax, gun rights, prosecute criminals, and generally leave me alone. As you say, how do you do anything is how you do everything. And you know who said that to me? A woman that I was trying to bang. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I nailed her. I gave her the hip thrusts. She never forgot that one. She ended up getting married, but she still texts me once in a while. Great. I don't trust women. I still get texts from her. And I'm like, wow, you're crazy. Usually on Christmas, because we banged on Christmas, and New Year's. She's like, oh, I'm married now, but man, you knock something loose down there. And I'm like, all right, cool. Opposite of Springfield, Holyoke, and Hartford. Get that disco ball going, man. Nope, not yet. Once this channel starts making $500 a month, the disco ball turns on. Cobus46 says, hello. HOAs can be a headache. I currently live in one and will never do another one. No HOA. They'll always find a reason to take your shit or lawsuit. Okay, cool. Do you want your neighbors to have their cars parked on the lawn? Yes or no? I don't want that. If I'm paying $600,000-$700,000 for a house in an unincorporated area of Palm Beach, anywhere in Palm Beach, you think I want my neighbor to park his truck on his lawn? Because that's what no HOA means. Zero rules. And all you have to do is go to some of the most expensive property in Palm Beach County, which is in the acreage, They have 2-3 acre lots, some of them. And then you clean your yard, you trim your shit, everything's killer. Your next door neighbor can have a chicken coop in the front with 17 cars parked in the front, and there is mud all over the front of his driveway. So yeah, I think there's a balance in that whole situation. Now, these are the top issues for young voters based on a quick Google search. Listen, this is men. Men's top issues: economy and jobs, immigration, foreign policy. Top issues for women: abortion, health care, education, and children. None of these things are positives, except maybe education. But this is the crazy thing. How can you have childcare and abortion in the same priority? I want to kill babies. I want to take care of the babies I didn't kill. I want to kill babies. And again, I'm not a crazy abortion guy. I don't care. But this made me go crazy. I went, wait, top issues for young women: abortion and reproductive rights. Reproductive rights means abortion. This is just a nice way of saying I would like to have the ability to abort my fetus before it's born. And then in the same sentence, childcare. That is so crazy to me. And I'd love to be in a woman's brain for a day so I can figure out how a neurotic psychopath thinks. I go, wait a minute. Nobody is stopping you from telling the guy to put a condom on. Nobody is stopping you from not fucking, right? I am 48 years old. I have never gotten a girl pregnant. Ever. Okay? Not even close. Not even an oopsie. You're late for a couple of... No. And I have been in long-term relationships, 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. No condom was being used there because I wanted to feel that. Unless her stomach, hair, or ass crack was getting pregnant, it wasn't happening. So I'm just like, I don't understand. I look at that and I go, I don't understand how reproductive rights can be in the same priority as childcare. Isn't childcare technically anti-abortion? Isn't it? And again, I don't care. I'm not gonna fight for one way or the other because it don't have nothing to do with me. I don't want a family. I don't want a little Alex rolling around. Have you seen what's going on out there? Have you seen the kooky motherfuckers? Imagine I have a daughter and she, for whatever reason, wants to play the gayest sport ever, soccer, and they allow some boy who thinks he's a girl in the soccer team and takes out my fucking daughter on a tackle who's going after the same ball, breaks her fucking shin, and this dude is 5'11", 180, and she's 5'5", 130 at 15 years old. He's running like lightning, and she's just a little girl. I will go on the field and kill that kid. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to have to worry about that. I don't want to have to worry about any of that shit. That's just another reason why I would never want to have kids, because I know how I would react in those situations. But I'm blown away that young voter men have the same priorities as old men. Hey, are you supposed to be here legally? No? Get the fuck out. But your hearing is next week. No, shut the fuck up. One of the craziest things I've seen, and again, before you say, Alex, you're a son of immigrants, technically we all are, so shut the fuck up. But I was born here. My parents were born in a U.S. territory. So stop that birthright shit. I was born here, raised here. I adopted the culture. I love it. I pay taxes. I've owned 2 properties here. I'm a productive member of society. I'm not a piece of shit. I am not a taker. I am a net giver to society. I've always owed taxes. I've never gotten a refund in my fucking life. So I'm kind of blown away when, people try to use that card. But if you're not supposed to be here, get the fuck out. What's even worse is if you've been here for 20 years, and in 20 years, you did not figure out how to get an appointment to a immigration office to get the process started, or change of status, or extend your green card, or go back or extend your visa, or hey, go back to your country of origin for 2 months, then come back for 6 months, then you go back for 2 months, come back 3 years. apply for a job, go through the process, da-da-da-da-da. Stay in the loop. No, you were just fucking lazy. You stayed here for 11 years. And even crazier, you never learned the language. You never learned the language. You don't think that if ICE stops somebody and they go, what's your name? Oh, my name is George. Mr. George, you know good. Or if they pull me over, what's your name? Alejandro Flores, how you doing? Where are you from? I was born in Massachusetts, moved down here in 2015. How you doing? How you guys doing today? Oh, doing good. All right, you can go. Right? But then this guy has a heavy accent or doesn't know any English. And then he's been here for 11, 10 years and he's been here illegally for 5 of those years. What the fuck are you doing? There is no excuse. Now, that phenomenon does not only go towards illegal immigrants, because let's be honest, it's not saying, illegal stolen land. Shut the fuck up. So Puerto Ricans are the same way. And it is a loyalty to Puerto Rico, not a loyalty to the United States. Meanwhile, they're in the United States, using United States roads, breathing United States air, working for a U.S. company, but they refuse to learn English because it looks bad to Puerto Ricans, and that is a thing. That's a thing that I came across when my English was, pretty good, and then I would go to family functions, and they would say the same thing. Well, you sound gay. It's like, because I speak English? Well, yeah, bro, like, why don't you talk like us? And I would say, because I'm not stupid. Boy, they would hate that. And I would do that as a young man. I go, because I don't want to sound like a fucking idiot. I want to have good job opportunities. I want to be a part of a functioning society, understand the culture. You guys are like hardcore Puerto Rico, because in Puerto Rico, if you know English, it's kind of bad unless you're an actual foreigner. And what's funny, a good example of that is Felix Trinidad. He's a boxer, a Puerto Rican boxer. Guy never learned English. They love him for that because they felt he was de la isla, Boricua. And I'm like, no, he's stupid. He left like 20, 30, $50 million on the table by not becoming, familiar with the English language so he can become endearing to American fans. And then he can have an actual broadcast career after he squandered his winnings while he was a boxer. And that's exactly what happened. He's a broke motherfucker and he speaks Spanish. Now he's on local podcasts in Puerto Rico that pay him no money. He could have been a national broadcaster for HBO, Showtime, Zufa, any of these places. But no, he's stuck doing the Boricua bullshit. I think that's a very common thing that happens with other immigrants, where they don't even want to try to learn the language, even though it opens doors. Now, a good example of that is, again, using boxing as a example, is Canelo Alvarez. You know Canelo Alvarez. We play Canelo Alvarez here all the time.
Hey, get the fuck out of here, because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
One of the more infamous clips, right? The guy was like, get the fuck out of here, because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
Or did that?
He tried to steal money, and he's a fucking asshole. That's what I say. He's a fucking asshole. He tried to keep the attention for him, not for Munguia. He's a fucking asshole. He steals his fighters. That's what he do. Fucking pussy. Motherfucker.
All right.
You want, I'm here for you too, motherfucker.
See? People love him. They clap. They think it's funny. They love the fact that he learned the language. Mexicans see that and go, oh, what, are you trying to please the white man? No, he's smart. So it's a weird thing that goes on there. I just want to land a decent house and be left alone. Good luck with that. Drugs and alcohol are stupid. Absolutely. When he said free weed, I'm like, this channel might not be for you. Charges in Texas just went way up in Texas, even just for possession. Love it. Don't forget to drop a like. To be honest, more applied the how do you feel if you ate breakfast today question to most people. It's helped weed a lot of dead weight out of my life. Absolutely. How would you feel if you hadn't had breakfast today? And they'd be like, but I had breakfast. Legal weed is probably the worst thing possible, because weed smokers will now light up anywhere, even in front of kids. And it is a thing to show off. They love going, look at me, I'm smoking weed outside. What are you going to do about it? Gay shit. I want to live in HOAs, but can't afford HOAs. Understood. G-Body on blocks. Front yard is the American way. I'm being sarcastic. I understand. I have an HOA here on public New York City street. Turns out the old Italian guy who owned the land made it back to the deal in the day, still getting paid through the HOA. Can't knock the hustle and parking their shit. Boat caravan in the street. Repeal the 19th Amendment now. I'm not saying repeal the 19th Amendment, but limit it. Because women outnumber men in voting, and what they vote for is retardation. And the biggest issue in America is the voter. They vote in with their emotion as opposed to logic. And a small example of that is real simple. All you have to do is look at how women cops act. The way women cops act tell you everything about how their temperament is, how their reasoning is, how their emotion controls their life. Women's lives are controlled by emotion. One of my favorite things to watch are audit channels. Audit channels where a guy just stands on a sidewalk and videos cars going in and out of a parking lot. And he just stands there. And people go, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "No, thank you." And they're like, "What?" So they call the cops. That guy is there to audit cops. So they call the cops. Cops show up. "Hey, we got a call of a complaint." He goes, "Okay, I'm on a public easement. I'm on a sidewalk. Why are you bothering me?" Well, we got a call. Cool story. If they don't want to be on camera, they don't have to be out in public. But they approached me. So guess what? They're on camera and I'm on a public easement. And then he tells him the law. And I'm like, shit, this guy is like telling and the cop you could see is like, now the cops usually get bent because cops, the reason you became a cop, not all of them, because I know Jimmy Jams is in here, but Jimmy Jams knows how many cops in the police force you work at are power hungry pieces of shit that were pushed in lockers when they were in high school. So they want to get back at people. So now they have a legal right to push their weight around, meaning they're a police officer, a law enforcement officer. But other cops just either they did it because it's part of the family, lineage. They've done it. Dad was a cop. Grandpa was a cop. Now I'm a cop. But there are most cops, and I've met them, that are just like, I got a gun and a badge. I'm the law. They literally say, I'm the law. And I'm, no. You're there to enforce the law. So these audit channels do a really good job. And typically it's women losing their fucking mind, right? Or when a female cop shows up, the guy can get lippy, right? The guy gets lippy with men, and the men probably use logic and go, I think he's right. Like, you have to understand, if you approach a man who's doing an auditing, police the police type thing, and he's on a public easement and he's videoing people, you should know he could do whatever the fuck he wants in terms of videoing, regardless of how good of a zoom lens he has, regardless of anything. He could take pictures, he could take video, it doesn't matter. The cop should just educate the people, hey, you're in public, you can be filmed. Unless you're on private property. He is on a public easement, you're within his view, get out of his view if you don't want to be on camera. Like, done. But the women cop immediately get emotional, and the guy knows how to push their buttons, and they have a gun. So I was watching there was a shooting that happened in Canada, Montreal, I think. And there was a woman who was in the middle of an active shooter situation right here. Okay. She was in the middle of an active shooter situation. And if you look closely, let me get rid of the live chat so you can see it. On the bottom left of this vertical video, this is the Adam Carolla show, but I'll mute the audio. So if you look at the video, okay, here's a cop right here. Here's a male fat cop, which I'm blown away that there are still fat cops on this planet. Like, I don't understand why police departments don't have yearly physical checks. And if you're a fat fucking cop, you should be fired. Okay, so there's an active shooter over here with some kind of long rifle. This cop goes down, but then scrambles under the Porsche. This woman hasn't even looked up to like peep where the guy's at. Like, we all play first person shooter games, and we're always like peeking around the corner. Boom, 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 boom. To know your surroundings. Who's the guy? Identify the guy. What's he look like? What kind of gun is it? So that you can say, okay, I'm up against this gun, this guy. He looks trained. He looks legit. He's coming towards me. No, this bitch keeps her head down the whole time. Right here. See this woman? So this woman has her head down the whole time. Nothing. No peeking, no looking, no identifying, no nothing. Has her gun out. This poor sucker over here that can't see her because she's ducked down. So he approaches her like, what's going on here? I don't see it. He stands up and He sees the guy with the rifle. So he starts walking towards his right. Unbeknownst to him, the woman cop with a gun out that can't see, identify, or anything is there, gets startled by him, bam, shoots him. Shoots him. The innocent bystander gets fucking blicked. So she's like, oh shit, looking at him. Again, she still hasn't peeked over this thing. She hasn't done anything. And guess who waltzes up right next to her because she hasn't even peeked around the corner or anything? The rifleman. Look at this cop. He's under the Porsche checking the tires, and the rifleman now she fucking sees him, and they're point blank range. Look at this. This is this ridiculous. And his gun jams. Dude, this was like the most amazing video I've ever seen. And I went, why are women in the police force? You know, why are women in the police force? Then this video is hilarious, right? Again, women should be able to easily subdue a subject if they're in the police force, right? Well, look at this. This is a great video. And again, I'm just going to mute it. 2 women are trying to subdue one guy. These women have guns. They have a whole fucking Batman belt full of shit, and they can't bring him down. Look at this. Oh, she falls down, and this woman say, hey, stop. And he's like, no, he just pushes her off. Pants fall, then he runs away, and he's gone. And I'm like, and they're fat. They're fat women. Right? These women are fat women. Look at this. They are fat women. What the fuck is these are fat women. So again, if you can't handle yourself, you can't be in a position of power. So I'm just blown away by this whole situation, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I haven't really had a way of talking about it except on the Minority Reports, because I'm just like, why is this happening? Why is this a thing? Alice, what was your story about what women did today? Thank you. Let's get that done. Okay. So remember, we're talking about this Colombian girl that's going to come up. I told you guys that I've been talking to a Colombian girl for a little bit. She had come up. We matched when she was up here, but she went back because she's doing it the right way. She had to get her visa re-upped or whatever the hell. And then she wanted to book a flight. Listen to this. You want to listen to this? Let me pull up a map real quick. Okay. And then, okay. Cool. So, I was talking to her, and I'm like, so, like, when are you coming up? And she's like, I might be able to come down. She goes, I'm going to come down Saturday. This Saturday, she might be coming. I'm like, hell yeah. You know, right? It's cool. So, she lives in Barranquilla, Colombia. Okay. So she was like, I don't know which airport, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, look for direct flights because you don't want to leave Barranquilla and end up in Dallas, and then in Dallas, then go to Atlanta, then Atlanta, end up in Miami. Like, you don't want to do that because usually if you haven't flown much, and I said, how'd you fly before? She goes, my friend booked everything. So this is all me. I was like, okay, well, you look, I can leave from your city, Barranquilla. It has 2 direct flights from Avianca and American Airlines. There's 2 flights direct to Miami. So I don't hear anything. And then finally she goes, I got a flight. And it was a lot cheaper than I thought it would be, which I'm thinking there was only 2 flights and they were a certain price. So again, I know this. So I'm like, so show me the confirmation. Well, she's leaving from Bogota, Colombia, direct to Miami. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait, don't you live in Barranquilla? She's like, yeah. Guys, Barranquilla is 18 hours from Bogota. So I said, how are you going to get from your house in Barranquilla to the Bogota airport so that then you can fly from Bogota to Miami? How is that going to work? And she goes, what? I go, what do you mean, what? How are you going to leave your house from Barranquilla and you got a plane flight leaving Bogota? That means you have to fly to Bogota. That's 18 hours away. and then go to Miami. So you basically have to fly to Bogota, stay overnight, then wake up the next day. So that you've now doubled or tripled the price, and so basically you're taking 2 flights to get over here. And she's like, holy shit. I go, yeah, that's really stupid. She goes, I just saw a cheaper price leaving from Bogota, so I selected that. I said, so how are you planning on getting to Bogota? What was the thought process? Explain to me. How much luggage are you bringing? She goes, 2. So you were gonna bus, fly, walk, drive? I didn't think about that. You didn't think about that. This is what you're going to do. You're going to call whatever airline you got, and you're going to want the ticket changed. Okay, I'll do that Friday. Your flight's on Saturday. You're going to do that right fucking now. And I'm going, bro, I ain't going to get laid. This chick's just going to fuck it all up. She's just going to fuck it all up because I left it up to her, right? So she's like freaking out. What women do is they just get paralyzed with confusion and fear. You know, when women are scared and overwhelmed in a situation, they just go, ah, and they don't do anything. I said, okay, give me your confirmation. Stupid. I'll take care of it. Call Avianca in Spanish. I said, look, my girlfriend booked the wrong flight. She lives in Barranquilla. She wants to go from Barranquilla to Miami. There are 2 flights, one from Avianca, one from American Airlines. One leaves at 1 o'clock. The other one leaves at 7 a.m. I'm thinking she's not going to want to get up at 7 a.m. Are there any available seats in the 1 o'clock flight leaving Barranquilla on Saturday at 1 p.m. that we can switch this confirmation flight number to under her name? And I gave her her name. She goes, yeah, it's all here. Okay, then you hear clicking. She goes, okay, so it'll be another $150. I said, could you send me some kind of link so I can pay that? Just because I didn't pay for the full ticket. I just paid for the change. And I said, and she's also has two check bags and 1 carry-on. Let me just add that shit, right? So that was $92. So it was $150 to change the ticket plus $92 plus their taxes. So it ended up being like $250 rounding it off. Paid it. She emailed me the new confirmation number going from Barranquilla to Miami direct at 1 p.m. on Saturday. And I said that to her and she goes, oh my God, I got an email. I go, yes, I CC'd you in it. So now you have a brand new plane ticket that takes off from the airport that's 20 minutes away from your house to Miami, as opposed to the airport that's 18 hours south of you to Miami. She better have the fattest ass, the wettest wap. It better be the wildest fucking sex for me to be like, all right, you better have the house spick and span. You better have head game on point. Your cooking's got to be good because you're fucking stupid. Right? And I'm saying this, and again, she ain't nothing of mine yet, but she's coming. And it'll be a trial period. And we'll see what the trial period, right? 200 exactly. So, oh no, dude, she's got way more to work off than that. She was like, you just made magic happen. No, I'm competent. And she's like, oh my God. So she said, I will never make a decision again unless I run it by you. I go, there you go. Now you're talking. I didn't tell her to say that. But she said, I will never make a decision ever again before talking to you. Go, good girl. So when she gets here, it better be on and popping because you got 3 months to figure this shit out. You're going to go back. But depending on what happens in those 3 months determines whether I bring you back or not. If not, you got 3 months to make the kid fall in love. And if it ain't going to happen, I had 3 months of fun. Prime example, watch when Trump gets shot and watch when women's Secret Service. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful example. When Trump got almost killed. The women were just like, their guns were falling. They were just like freaking out. And the men were like, okay, get a perimeter. And the women are like, fumphering around. Why are women in any kind of, like, how many women Navy SEALs are there? How many women Navy SEALs are there? Zero. There are currently 0 female Navy SEALs. The training pipeline opened in 2016. No female candidate has yet passed the rigorous basic underwater demolition SEAL course. So there are just certain things women can't do. And to me, law enforcement is one of them. Because unless you're peak Chris Cyborg or peak, I'll still blast that. I'll fuck her up. Chris Cyborg peak, I'll fuck her up. Just pure will and strength. Peak Alex and peak Cyborg, I got it. No problem. I got pulled over by a woman cop one day and pulled over. Turned off my car, put my keys on the roof. She actually thanked me for doing that because it made her feel safe. I did it not to get shot. Right. There was another video where a guy was like pulling out. No, he didn't want to get out of the car and he called for a sergeant. And the woman got the fucking gun out. And the guy goes, whoa, that's crazy. Why are you sticking your gun out? She goes, because you're not being cooperative. He goes, that is no way. She got fired. How'd she get in there, burro? Exactly. I gave me Forrest Whitaker. Jesus Christ, man. Dealing with women killed Kevin Samuels. I'm convinced. Gotta love having micromanaged women. Bro, you want to hear something even better, right? So, the same girl. Again, guys, I'm dealing with someone that basically lives in a third world country, but they look, guys, I swear to God, it's going to be the best looking girl I've ever hung out with, right? By far. Why would I? Not like typical Colombian with the jet black hair and light skin and crazy. No, she's natural and pretty and younger and, so there's going to be growing pains, right? But she said something one time. She has made a lot of bad decisions. And I don't mind talking about them because she's nothing of mine yet. And she asked me, hey, do you think it's a good idea if I if I drive to another town with my friend? There's going to be a big festival that is happening in my country. And she wants me to help her sell waters and trinkets and stuff. And I think it'll be a good opportunity. And I'm like, nope, Peak Cyborg is not fucking me up. Peak Cyborg is not fucking me up. I'm sorry. You are crazy. You are crazy if you think Cyborg, who got knocked the fuck out by a woman that's 5'6", can do anything to me. Specs. 5'8", 145. Get the fuck out of here, bro. 5'8", 145. I don't care if she's 5'8", 205. She's getting fucked up. She's a woman. So she said, I'm going to go. I said, why are you asking me? She goes, because I'm wondering if it's a good idea because I have to invest $1 million Colombian pesos, like $200 or something like that, to buy the waters with my friend. And then I might make triple that. I said, but how much does it cost to go there? How much does it cost to get there? And you're assuming you're going to triple your money. So that means you have to sell a certain amount. Can you guarantee that your investment is going to turn into triple the money, which is $200 to $600? To them, that's a lot of money. And then is it worth it for what? 4 or 5 days of work for $400 in your pocket, minus the fees, the hotel, your food, your time? You know what she said? She said, it's actually not worth it because if I have to give her $200, I have to get myself down there via a bus, which is $50, and then I got to work 3 12-hour days handing out waters, trinkets, and all this bullshit, and then pay $50 to come back. I would have probably made $120 in my pocket. I go, right. She goes, holy shit. I go, right. Did you think about that? Did you think about that? You didn't think about the investment versus the outcome. Like a lot of people that flip cars, a lot of people that flip homes, they're like, well, I can make this much money. Did you factor in paying yourself? So then, that was one of the decisions, and I didn't say anything. So then when this plane thing came up, I said, yeah, what are you thinking? And she's like, fuck, this is all new to me. I go, right. Don't make a decision. Ask someone that's been there before. And I'm here, but I'm also like not your dad. So like I'm the guy you're interested in, and we'll see. If she don't come here and she starts jumping on the dick ASAP, I'm sorry. I no patience. Like, see you later. Seen woman cop accidentally shooting a guy who was cooperating, and she was removing his gun. Incompetence. Stranglehold Outdoor says they can't be SEALs, but they can clap and laugh like one at the circus. Now that is pretty funny. Lambo, that's a good one. What did Lambo say? I want to make sure that people get recognized here. Stranglehold says I had the same situation 2 years ago with a girl from Brazil. Wanted me to wire money, flip the bill for everything. She's now with a guy in Italy, probably thanking him for everything he's worth, taking it for everything he's worth. See ya. Yeah, I'm not wiring any money to anybody. I haven't wired her a dime. She works and goes to school. I'm like, here's dinner on me. It's $30. Here's dinner on me, courtesy of the Parts Farm. I just made magic happen. You better make magic happen on my dick. Men solve problems women make. Yes, 100% of the time. You connect with one punch and Cyborg is going to sleep. Right? People don't understand that. People think that Cyborg beating up other women is a sign of Cyborg's toughness. Generally, I'm like, no, I have not seen a woman ever in a fighting scenario ever that I thought all I need to do is connect one or two and it's over. There was an Asian guy that recently fought a woman gang member. Asian guy fights Asian gang member woman, and it was recent. It was great. Oh, come on. Okay. Japanese female gang member fights MMA. Whatever. Male. Let me see. Male. It must have been on X. X is becoming my favorite now because I have it. I find it quicker there. Female gang member fights male. Watch it be like boom, instant. No. Yeah, here it is. Look at that. Look at this. You're gonna love this shit. So they had a whole thing where it was like a gender thing. Look at this. Display capture. I'll show you the whole thing because it's Twitter. So.
This female gang member decided to challenge a male boxer and tried to crush his spirit before the fight even started. She slapped him twice in public and rushed at him multiple times to pick a fight. She was convinced he didn't fight back because he was afraid of her. She was wrong. The man didn't strike back simply because he refused to hit a woman, but his restraint only invited more insults and humiliation. The arrogant female gangster
I could just see her face and I know I'd knock her teeth out.
thought she could throw her weight around on foreign turf, but she forgot.
And this guy just took it. He got slapped in all the promos. And even in the fight, he didn't get rid of her. He basically humiliated
One
her.
thing, once the gloves go on, there is no gender inside the ring. The humble male boxer finally had a legitimate reason to teach her a lesson. Despite giving up size, he made up for it with speed and technique. When his machine gun punches rained down, that arrogant face finally showed regret and panic. Maybe she wished she hadn't started it, but it...
Dude, he went to the body. All he did was just concentrate to the body, and he basically made her guts fucking mincemeat.
Regret and panic. Maybe she wished she hadn't started it, but it was too late. As the round bell was about to ring, she paid for all her earlier arrogance in blood and tears.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Cyborg would fuck me up. Get the fuck out of here. I'm 5'11", 215. All it takes is one punch to land somewhere, and her head goes flying. Women have no situational awareness, no. And my fear is, right, she's planning to come here. I'm like, all right, you got somewhere to stay? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're staying here. It's crazy. You can come over and stay for a weekend or whatever. She, oh yeah, I got a friend over there, blah, 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 blah. But you know what's going to happen? I got to pick her up from the airport because she don't know what the fuck's happening. I'm like, you've been here before. She goes, yeah, but I went with a friend. And I'm like, well, you better have that friend on, whatever, on speed dial in case, you don't got somewhere to stay in case the ass is whack. If the pussy is trash, you're getting the fuck out of here. Checking the late, catch a replay later. People think bigger their mouth is, the better they fight. Opposite is really, yeah, I agree. Like, Cyborg was a scary individual when she was on steroids in Brazil, knocking out women during the Gina Carano heyday and stuff like that. And then Ronda Rousey, she was beating up basically female cab drivers, baristas, because during that time, there weren't any legitimate Misha Tate, I guess. There weren't any legitimate female MMA women when Ronda Rousey was coming up. So she was just armbarring everyone, judoing everyone. And then Holly Holm, a kickboxer, comes in and knocks her block off. And then Amanda Nunes comes in and, dude, she breakdanced in the cage because Amanda Nunes just hit her and she'd go one way, hit her and she'd go the other way. And she was just in the cage, literally twerking. Look, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen when the edits came out and they had Amanda Nunes just like a man. She was just squaring up and like giving her like the straight, good, nice shots, right? And she was like, boom, boom. And her body was dancing up against the cage. Hitting up against the cage in a way that it looked like she was dancing. She was just like involuntarily salsa-ing up against the cage when the Amanda Nunes was hitting her. And what did she do? She went to WWE because she just got her fucking block knocked off two times in a row. Great to see. I didn't like her. She has a shitty attitude, so I'm happy that she got what was coming to her. She's a shithead. I didn't like her ever. So yeah, I mean, the episode today we basically concentrated on not necessarily hating on women, but it's a disproportionate voting percentage where women are voting for things that are important to them, and they're healthcare related, they're childcare related, and abortion related, and immigrant shit. Like, the things that are wrong in this country are what women are voting for. Immigrant rights. You stop immigration, illegal immigration, which is the one we really talk about, everything else stops. The moment you enforce the border and arrest people and get them the fuck out of here and make it a deterrent, like, hey, there is no safe place here, all of the bullshit is a trickle-down effect, and it stops. Then abortion is one of those things where I think it should be limited, right? But again, I don't think a woman should go in there and say, I want an abortion because I fucked a guy and got pregnant, because they're mostly if you were to look at percentage-wise why women get abortions, it's not because of health reasons. It's because of convenience reasons. Oh, I'm in college. I don't want to have a kid in college. Boom, abortion. Oh, I cheated on my mans. I don't want to have my, lover's baby. Boom, gone. Oh, I was twerking at the club, got pregnant. They're mostly elective. And I don't know if there's a percentage breakdown. I don't even know how to word that. Like, let me see how I can word this to see if there's some kind of poll that gives me some kind of in terms of percentage, what are the reasons women say they get an abortion? It's got to be a percentage. Oh, here we go. Oh my God. No way. Holy shit. You guys are going to fucking... This is crazy that we live in this society. We're going to look back at this time and think it was like the medieval times. These are the reasons women are getting abortions nowadays. Because they always talk about, what if my baby is making me, going to kill me because of... Interference with the future. 74% of women that have gotten abortions cite disruption to education, employment, or the ability to care for existing children. Financial limitations. 73% state they cannot afford the cost of raising a child at that time. Relationships dynamics. 48% mention not wanting to be single parent or experiencing partner conflict. Completed family size. Roughly 30% feel they have already finished childbearing, meaning they got pregnant after they had kids, so they aborted. And readiness. About 32% feel unready or too young for the transition of motherhood. So under 30% say it's because the child is going to kill them. I'm telling you, we're going to look back at this time in history and we're like, what the fuck were women doing? And again, if you're Gen Z, 30% of you were never born. 30% of you were never born. You were aborted. And they call it a health issue, right? And again, I don't care either way. Just stating the facts. So if there were 100,000, just for example, Gen Xers born, and then 100,000 millennials, 70,000 Gen Zs were born because 30,000 of them were aborted. Like 30%. Let's put that in the millions. Holy shit. That's crazy. 30%. When I saw that stat, I said one day we're going to look back maybe 50 years from now where they're like, what the hell were we doing in the 90s to 2030s? We were born babies, left and right. aborting. ABORT. Do I have it? Please tell me I have it. Because she forgot the plan B. Come on. Really? I don't have aborting. Too high. 956. Sasso. I probably got rid of it because it slaps too hard. And we're kind of like making fun of it. But boy, it's a great song. Yeah. In light of this episode, we got to play this one out. It's crazy. What the hell were we doing in 1990 to 2030? And it's a little inconvenient to have this, kid. So
I'm BDF, nigga, baby, daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby, coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go.
What is the abortion clinic? They got a drive-through?
Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Yeah, bitch,
Get that
I got
shit out of
murder
there.
on my mind.
Get that shit out of there.
Murder. Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
I forgot the plan B.
Ain't no nigga cuffing me. You can't put me on the shelf, bitch. I'm outside with the team. All these bitches having
Scramble
babies,
the
but that ain't
brains.
finna be me. Said he wanna
Ow.
settle down. Niggas selling all these dreams. He got one kid, two kid, three kid, four.
Get it
Bitch,
outta
he
here.
cheap about a dozen if
I don't
his
want
ass
it.
had Benny Mo.
Why?
And I'm only 25,
My,
so got a couple years to go. I don't need a babysitter, cause this
liberal
baby
arts
gotta
degree
go.
has
It's
to
a
get
shortage on
finished.
the milk, and them diapers be expensive.
outta
I
here,
ain't
baby.
tryna be a MILF, so I swallow all his children. I got hyphy in
My
my
liberal
blood, so you
arts
know I'm
degree
big
has to
pimpin'.
get
Niggas
finished.
tryna fall in
My,
love. Tell them niggas I ain't with it. I done took care of niggas. Now
What
it's
the
time
fuck's
to
the
care
degree
for
when you
me.
wanna be a
Rearrange
security
the
guard?
alphabets and skip the L's. I'm a P. I be on these bitches' necks. They like me, I can't breathe.
When you wanna become a
CVS
cop,
is in
what's
my
that
Cuban,
degree?
And my wrist is AP. Let's go.
Scrambled eggs.
Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
Get it out of here.
Bitch,
Get
I got
that
murder
fucking
on
baby
my
out of
mind.
here.
Let's
go.
Bitch, I got murder on my
Outta
mind.
here.
Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. I'm BDF, nigga, baby, daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby, coming out of me. So I'm
It's a sad time. It's a sad
on
time.
my way to the clinic.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. She's on her 5th master's. I can't afford a baby. And then, right, when you're arguing for abortion rights in front of, like, City Hall, well, what if the baby is causing the woman to die? No, 70% of you get rid of the baby because of a convenience thing. You weren't ready. You didn't have the money. You sure as fuck opened up your legs. You didn't even care if you had a condom. Like, think about let's think about the mechanics of it, right? We got 2 minutes. You're in the club or you're with a guy. You want that dick. You jump on that dick. He nuts inside you. What the fuck you think's gonna happen? Are you on birth control, honey? No. So you're like, I'm gonna go through this. Get pregnant. Oh, by the way, it's all good. I'm just gonna aborting. Come on, man. We're gonna look back at this time in history. It's gonna be just super sad. Boss babes are ruining the world. All of them. Docs too. For convenience reasons, you should be arrested for manslaughter minimum. Alex, have you ever played hockey? No. Skating's for gays. Social media has made women warriors, window warriors. Non-baby booming. Exactly. Criminal justice. Exactly. I gotta finish my criminal justice degree. I can't have this baby. You sure as hell let him ram ya without a condom, no birth control, and he nutted in you. You probably enjoyed it. You probably told him to do it. Oh, don't get me started on the things I've heard from women that have told me they didn't want babies. And if I was a weaker man, I would be a father today. Kid would be probably 2. Like literally, put it in me, daddy. I don't care what happens. Excuse me? Dude, what did you just, like, it was like life altering. I saw this person as like, what the fuck did you, weird stuff. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. So today we hung out for a little bit just to make sure I get you a show for the Minority Reports episode 5, where we talk about how women vote against our collective betterment, because women generally make up the vast majority of the voting public. They prioritize general health. They prioritize immigration. They prioritize abortion, and they prioritize childcare at the same time, where men prioritize taxes, immigration, and foreign policy. Like crazy. What, the logical stuff that actually makes the world go round and round. I'm out of here, guys. So I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll do a show for Talking Shit Tuesday. Hang out then. Just wanted to give you Minority Reports because Wednesday I'll be out and about at Lund Racing HQ getting some videos. Hopefully I'll get some time to get some videos. If it's a little slow during the day, I'll try to get you guys some videos. Try to talk to Junior. Try to talk to Senior. The other guys are going to be tuning there, so I'm not going to bug them too much. Try to share the Blue Goose. Try to share the Gray Goose. A little bit of everything going on. Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to get out of here. So I'll see you guys next Monday or Wednesday. We'll see if that girl's around. It'd be funny if I could be like, hey, come on in real quick. Just twirl and show what I'm working with. And I'll get the fuck out of here so you guys can see what I'm working with. That'd be funny as fuck. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys next week, or the rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow. See you later. Bye.